Welcome back to Integrated, a podcast for entrepreneurial couples who want to crush life, have a good, awesome experience partnering, parenting, and running a business.
Yes. Welcome back.
I'm Jayson.
And I'm Ellen.
And we are a married couple who run our own businesses and who are going to help you get better at this relationship thing.
Yes.
Yeah, we study and train with the best in the world, and we teach this stuff to people, and we want to help you have an awesome experience at partnership, because it's if your partnership sucks, it's going to make life harder.
Yeah, we just think this matters so much. You know, I was thinking actually this morning, like whatever's going on in the world, there's a lot going on in the world that's super intense. And still our home lives matter, you know? Our partnership, who we come home to, our partners, our kids, ourselves, our relationship to ourselves. There is one. That just continues to matter no matter what's going on around us. And so this is always important. It's always worth putting energy and thought and more of yourself into, because it gives back. Relationships give a lot back.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yep. The gift that keeps on giving. If you attend to it, just like a garden.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Today we're talking about, we're taking another step into the types of entrepreneurial couples. We last time talked about the solopreneur with supportive spouse, a very common dynamic. And today we're going to talk about the other two types, the dual entrepreneurial couple and the copreneurs.
Yes.
So we'll squeeze this into one, and we're also going to weave in a little attachment because we've talked about that. So now that you're understanding attachment and how it might be playing out in your relationship.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the dual entrepreneurial couple, Ellen?
That's a couple who each person in the couple is running their own business. Mm-hmm. So they have one business each.
So when they go to a coffee shop, they sit next to each other on their own laptops and work on their own businesses.
Yeah.
And occasionally they say hi to each other.
Right. Or they might give each other ideas. The couples I know and have worked with here, like sometimes they're running really different kinds of businesses. They have really different ways of running their businesses. Like there's lots of variables here, but these are two people that are partnered and running their own things.
Yeah. And if you had to guess, what attachment style would you think is going on here in this couple? Remember, we have the island or the wave in terms of the insecure attachment styles. Islands being like, hey, I like to be on my own, doing my own thing. I don't always see relationships as awesome. Waves is like more anxious, and I want to connect and talk and
work together and,
do stuff together, be tracking our connection more. So, as you may have guessed, this is more often than not two islands.
Yeah, I mean,
can be. It's not always true. Yeah. Okay, these are vast generalizations, but it's what we see.
So if you're on the insecure attachment side of things versus secure, it could be two securely attached people. Yeah. But again, what we see, people who come to see us for help with their relationships are often kind of living from the island side, the insecure avoidance side. And they're just both individuals that are comfortable doing their own thing, working hard, prioritizing work. If things get stressful and difficult, it's easier in the relationship. It's easier to go to work. They feel a lot of responsibility. They have a lot of tasks they're trying to get done. They're not maybe great at self-care.
Yeah.
They don't prioritize themselves very well. They prioritize other things like work, performance, goals, deadlines, outcomes. And so that's, they can produce a lot at work and get a lot done. They might feel pretty stressed about it, but that's kind of where they're most comfortable living and hanging out. And then when they're done with work, they want a break.
Yeah.
And they want things to be quiet and easy. They want their relationship to be a lot easier. They're like, why can't this just be easier? What is wrong with you? Why can't this be easier? Or they also might feel neglected and not very, like their partner's not very interested in them, but they might not speak up about that.
Yeah.
They might notice it on some level. They might notice that they're not really reaching out. They might notice like, gosh, we're not really connecting, but they don't know how to bring it up. They don't know how to talk about it. They don't really want to. They don't want to rock the boat. And this is both people at times.
Yeah.
This is both people. And so this couple can get really entrenched in kind of avoiding each other.
And avoiding hard conversations.
Feeling a sense of distance, a sense of disconnection, and not knowing how to even begin to deal with that. Not even sure, and feeling kind of ambivalent about dealing with that. Like they kind of like the distance. It's kind of comfortable in a sense. It's what they know, maybe.
And look, if it's not going well between us, I can just go back to work. I can just go back because my work appreciates me. There's feedback and validation from
I'm good at it.
The services and products I put out in the world.
There's plenty to do there.
Yeah. I get connection with my team and it's relatively decent, let's say. And so if you and I have stress and we're both running a business, I can just go back to work. And that's often you'll see a couple like this kind of leading parallel lives.
Yeah.
They're going maybe, forward in life, but standing side by side. So it feels like, remember the boat metaphor of we're both in a boat. It feels like we're kind of in our own separate boats, even though you're in one boat called your relationship.
Yeah, their boats have like a long cord between them. Yeah. And they're sort of like,
right.
They're like, we're together, but we're like doing our own thing.
Yeah.
And that's sometimes this kind of couple is just really happy with that and doesn't come in for help because they're like, we're both good with this. This is the amount of connection we want. This is the amount of intimacy we can handle. We're good. This is fine. This is what we expect.
Yeah. So in my experience in the couples I've worked with here is there's an issue of depth in the relationship that gets compromised because of everything Ellen's just said about it's just hard between us. And so let's just both go back to work. So because we can't address what's between us and the resentments and some of the pain here, and we're not very resilient, we can't handle the hard conversations, we're limiting our ability to go deeper in our relationship. Because to go deeper, you're going to have to face all that stuff.
Yeah. You might have to say things that are hard to say or not the easiest for your partner to hear. And, you might not be on the same page about everything. I mean, there's just this couple, like sometimes, they're just good at sort of getting along from a distance and not bringing things up. And then if something comes up, they just like crumble. They kind of come unglued. They can't, it's just immediately, it's like, whatever, through the roof, like the upset or it's just a big upset to have any upset. And so they're, like you said, something about not very resilient. I think that's what you mean. It's like there's very fragile. Little conflict overtly, but when they do have it, it's totally unmanageable. Yeah,
because they don't know how. Yeah. They haven't learned how to work through it effectively. And again, it's just back to let's do our own businesses. And then can we just have fun together and kind of not talk about the hard things?
Yeah. Yeah. Like when I'm not working and I'm trying to decompress, like last thing I want to do is have a hard conversation with you or hear about something you're not happy about with us or me or something you want more of. Cause look, I've got a huge list already. Aren't I doing enough? And all of this comes from, remember, a family culture where everybody, if we think about these people as children, what they grew up in, what they spent their first 18 years kind of marinating in, which is an incredibly, a time of life where you're soaking in whatever's around you. You're learning everything about relationships and how you navigate feelings and people. And so these people probably could have grown up in a family where, at best, people just lived in a state of kind of low-grade tension and distance. Things didn't get resolved. Things didn't get talked about. Feelings, experiences, deeper things beyond, grades or sports or scores didn't get discussed, didn't get dealt with or tended to. And then there was this low grade kind of distance tension in the system. Sometimes there was just play maybe, but a lot of the time there was just sort of not much going on. And so that this person grows up to be kind of comfortable with that.
To be comfortable, like feeling like not cared about in a way.
Yeah. Yeah. Feeling not really prioritized. And when this couple comes into coaching or therapy, it's because one of them, sometimes both, but often even just one of them has started to grow and develop and realize, actually, I want more intimacy. I want more connection. I want to know you better. I want to be known better. I want, we're like someone has started to wake up to, wow, we're just kind of living parallel lives. Is there more?
Yeah.
Is this all there is? And sometimes those people that's when they'll come in. Yeah. And sometimes both of them are asking those questions, like and they're like, how do we connect? What should we do to connect more? Like looking at me. And sometimes just one of them is struggling with that. And the other one is like, I don't see the problem here.
Yeah.
So that's a harder situation when just one person is, saying, hey, I want something to shift here. I want to try something new. I want to explore other things.
So the reminder tip here, invitation is to get in choice about this, because there's a lot of like lack of fairness that comes up in this kind of relationship. And hey, you don't care about me and I'm doing more than you. And there can be that going on and everything else we've said. But if someone comes forward, like Ellen's saying, you can begin to say, is this the kind of partnership we want?
Yeah.
Or am I choosing every day the kind of relationship I want? No, I'm kind of choosing work most of the time and maybe my kids, and I'm forgetting about you, and I feel forgotten about over here. I don't feel as loved or just cherished or just respected or whatever it is, right? Yeah. And can you then bring that, like admit that to yourself, because you're the one listening, let's say, and then maybe we want to invite you to bring that to your partner.
Yeah. And someone could say, well, what's the problem with this couple? Like, why should they change? Like, they seem to be doing fine on the outside, there's not like huge problems going on. And you're right that maybe there aren't. But what I want to challenge around that, if that's your take, is like life is coming at you. It's coming at all of us, so we're going through things like you might have a baby, you might have several as a couple, your business might fail, your business might explode, one of you, both of you at the same time. You're going to lose people you love. People you love are going to die over time. Big losses are going to happen, transitions, changes, illnesses, like life is coming, stress, difficult challenges are coming. I don't mean to be a doomsday person, but that's just reality.
That's life. Right?
And you want your partnership to be ready to field that material, whatever each of you might go through emotionally and psychologically and relationally and spiritually in life. You want to be able to have a relationship that can grow and develop and be a source of support with whatever life is bringing you. And so a couple that does this kind of parallel life avoidance, let's keep the peace, let's not talk about the hard things, like they are going to be hit hard by something at some point. And that when you need each other most, you want to be able to be there for each other. And this couple is not ready. They're often not ready. And so that's another reason why they would come to coaching and therapy, is something in life stress them to the point of, and so maybe it's something normal. It's a move or it's a birth of another child, normal life things that are big deals, but they just can't, they have no capacity to adapt, to integrate, to grow and develop through that process, because that's not what they've been up to. Yeah. And so any life event could be an opportunity to grow and develop, but sometimes they're just caught really off guard by that. And they think, wow, something's wrong with us that we can't handle these, whatever's going on. And that's not true. It's just the relationship wasn't really ready.
Ellen, what's another way this couple can kind of get ready for these inevitable storms? You know, if they begin to turn toward this podcast and they're like, I don't know, what's another way they can start to prepare?
Yeah. I mean, the first place I go, it's going to sound so simple, but it's like, have deeper conversations, get more honest with yourself and bring that to your partner. I think the more in congruence we can be in ourselves with how we really think and feel about things, what we're really facing and dealing with as individuals, and our ability to bring that to the people we depend on most, which is what they're there for, right? Like why, again, this also comes back to why are we partnered? What's our purpose? What's the reason for doing this hard thing of linking our lives up like this? You know, hopefully part of it has to do with being emotional supports for each other and being each other's go-to people in life. And so that's where I want to direct people is into what's the purpose of your relationship? What are you really doing this for? And what are you really about as a couple? And then how can we utilize each other more? It's a really huge asset to have another human being, another nervous system to rely on. We actually are built to do that. That's how we function best, is when we have other nervous systems supporting us. And when people aren't utilizing that resource that they have in their home and then something big comes their way, they don't really know what to do. And so I'm like, start going now. Like maybe there's no problems now. That would be a perfect time, a great time to start taking conversations deeper, asking yourselves bigger questions about what do we want and who are we, and getting curious about each other. I mean, there's so many things I could say. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I actually heard, we were just visiting your parents and I heard your mom ask your dad something about his childhood. It was something about, I don't know, did you grow up playing tennis? Like she asked him something and I was like, wow, that's so cool that at 85, your mom is still asking your dad questions about who he is or what his childhood was like. And they talked for a few minutes. He was like, oh yeah. And she was like, oh really? And it was like this really sweet exchange I heard from the other room. Yeah. But I was like, if everyone did that, did a lot more of that, that would be really nice. My dad
probably didn't exchange curiosity toward my mom.
No, I don't think it was like it became,
she talks a lot.
Right. But it was good. It was good enough for that moment.
It's sweet. You're pointing out that just that kind of question is what we're looking for here.
Yeah. Just staying curious and interested. Even, I mean, your parents have been married over 50 years. Yeah. And they're still asking each other questions at times. Maybe not a lot, but that still comes up. There's her genuine curiosity about him and his life. So anyway, I thought it was sweet.
Yeah. Over 60 years. Actually.
Over 60 years married. I mean, we still are learning who each other are. Mom's still learning about your dad. Yeah. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, it is cool. Okay, so those are some things you can do. We want to move into the copreneur briefly. And it's very similar invitations here, right? Like all three of these types have one thing in common, which is we struggle to prioritize each other in the relationship. Yeah. In a way that works for both of us. So copreneurs, remember, is they both run a business together. Yes. So they're in each other's grill 24/7, like a lot of time together.
One business, I guess they could run more than one business together, but it's a business or more businesses that they run together. Usually they're both involved.
Yeah. And the question I seem to get the most from people like this is, how do we kind of set boundaries? How do we get space and still do awesome at partnership? How do we make our marriage better when we're with each other all the time and we kind of want space from each other? You know, that's sometimes how it's asked.
Yeah, that's interesting. This couple is often struggling with getting space from each other.
That's one issue. Yes. Like I'm with you too much, and maybe that's part of the problem here. Okay. I need to have a life outside of
our work or working together all the time.
And so when they hear things like you need to prioritize the relationship, you're like, all I do is hang out with you.
Okay, got it.
Thinking that's prioritizing the relationship.
Yes.
But you can work together all the time, co-running a business, parent together, live together, and be married 20 years and still you're actually not prioritizing each other.
You can be
or the
disconnected.
relationship.
You can be disconnected on an emotional intimacy level.
Yeah, on a heart level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And sexually too.
Yeah.
That kind of intimacy.
Yeah. This is actually, that's a common symptom, is the sex has waned, because it's like, I'm just with you so much. There's no polarity. There's no charge. There's no like, I want to, I miss you. I want to hang out with you. Because again, they tell themselves, kind of the narrative that gets run is, we're kind of enmeshed. We're just together all the time.
Yeah, I know you so well. I know how you think. I know what you're doing. I know what you're going to do next. It's like there's nothing to see there anymore.
Yeah. And then that bleeds into, 5 o'clock, the traditional time, which is no longer the case. Of work is, we're done with work. We go on a walk, or we go exercise,
we eat,
pick up the kids, whatever. They just continue working.
And then they get back to work eventually.
And then they eat dinner, and they're talking about work. And then they might put in another hour before bed, or one of them. And then the kids are down, if they have kids. And then they're laying in bed talking about work, like getting their PJs on and like brushing their teeth, still talking about work. So this is the kind of just trying to set the stage here for this is kind of what I hear about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how do you deal?
Well,
you people.
Yeah. I mean, it's right. The issue is they come in saying how we need boundaries. And I guess they have a sense that like usually this couple gets along pretty well, works together pretty well. But some things starts to like agitate both of them. Okay. This is what I've seen. And so there starts to be this sense of like a low grade friction or agitation between them. Like maybe they're getting a little bit shorter with each other in their responses, or more irritable, like more casual, less considerate. Things like that are starting to happen. And I think underneath all this, it's so weird because they're, like you said, they're like, we're spending all this time together, but yet underneath all that, they don't feel prioritized. And they don't feel like their partner is paying attention to them in a special way, or considering them in a special way that we're meant to when we kind of elevate someone to partner status. That's a special role. And so there's some kind of, I think these people start to experience some kind of like something feels kind of rude or inconsiderate on this very low grade level. And it's really an intelligent response to, wow, the primacy of our relationship is not being honored somehow. Yeah. We're sort of externally focused on work and tasks and responsibilities and kids and all the things we're all externally focused on. We're all dealing with this. Yeah. And yet they just have an extra amount because they're also both externally focused on this other shared venture. Children are one shared venture, a home is another shared venture, and then they also have work as this shared venture. And so, and then they do things that irritate each other, or they talk to each other in a way they would never talk to someone that they were working with. Like things just start to happen that feel like these low grade insults to you as a partner to each other. Yeah. And so there's a few things. One idea I have around this is something I often try to help people see, and I think you do this too, is like you've got to treat your partner like a partner first, even if you work together. And like you've always got to keep in mind that this is your partner,
not your employee.
Yeah, or business partner. Like this is your lover, this is your best friend, this is like however you conceptualize this relationship. It's all those things maybe. Like this person is depending on me in an emotional way that no other person in our company does, that no other person in my life does. Like we are vulnerable and depending on each other for psychological okayness and positive reflections and emotional fuel. Like that's just what's happening because we have nervous systems and we're human beings. And when we partner, that's part of the gift of that. And if we're withholding that or we're not respecting that aspect of our relationship as first and foremost, that's where I see these people start to struggle. Yeah. And So a lot of times that's like a reframe for people. It's like, whoa, treating you like my girlfriend, boyfriend, lover, husband, wife, whatever. Always.
Yeah. What about, let me just challenge that just for fun.
Go ahead.
What about, because I can hear people's voices in my head sometimes. Yeah, but sometimes we just need to be in go mode during the day. Uh-huh. And, I just need to talk to you in Slack, like, hey, is this done? Hey, did you get that? Hey, Oh. And can that be okay that we're just, when we clock in, it's like the battlefield, as some people say, or it's game time, and we just go, and can you be my partner after work? What about that?
No, let's see how that goes. Let's say, cool, let's try that.
Yeah.
And then try it for a week where, you're firing things off on Slack to each other and you're like, thanks, sweetie, heart emoji, or I don't know, like just little things that you would only do for the person you love, or like, if you're both working from home, it's like just a little kiss on the cheek, a hug,
between meetings,
a little rub, like, oh, it's good to see you, a little something. I mean, that goes a long way to just cueing each other. Like, we are first and foremost, we are each other's go-to people. We are here to love each other in a big way, in a deep way. And we're working together too. Mm-hmm. And so I'm not saying that you have to be like extremely intense about like, oh my God, I have to change everything about how I treat you, but you've got to be mindful.
Yeah.
I think we just can't get away with it. I would just say, just try it. Try being a little more mindful that this is the person I go to bed with every night. This is the person I sleep next to.
This is the person I used to have sex with.
This is the person I want to have sex with again. This is a person who, like, I trust them with my life. I mean,
this is high stakes.
It's a big relationship. And we sometimes just, when we start going through the motions where we're kind of acting like it's not, it starts to feel bad.
Yeah.
So I think,
I like your experiment.
I think just do an experiment. Just a week
this way, a week that way.
A little extra, like, I'm working with my special person.
Because I think in the attachment oriented lens we come from, it's like signaling. You're signaling to your partner that you're not a threat and that you care about them through all the little emojis or throughout the day, or just a hug or a touch or hey, you seem stressed, honey. Can I bring you something? Like, can we just take a breath and go outside for 10 minutes and take a break together? You're signaling, I care. You matter to me. Our relationship is important to me.
Yeah, there's so many ways to do that.
There's hundreds of ways.
So many ways to do that without even words.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
With a look, the way you, so many little things to just signal, you are special to me and you matter to me in a way that's different than other people. Yeah.
And another, I like all this, another angle I've heard is people get into, Ellen and I, you'll notice over the life of these episodes and beyond, we'll probably do a podcast on this. We don't talk a lot about masculine, feminine dynamics. But sometimes our clients do. And one of the comments I hear is, male, and again, this is very gendered. So masculine has nothing to do with gender. Feminine has nothing to do with gender, but people conflate those two. So guy comes in and says, well, my wife started working for us and now she's the operator of the business. And I'm the visionary. And the visionary can be more right-brained and the operator can be a little more left-brained. So wife comes in, and after a year or two, it starts to switch the dynamics where the woman feels more masculine and the man feels more feminine. And some people have a big problem with that. And it can create I just hear this.
Okay.
And so I want to offer something, if that's your experience, is number one, when you work together and you take on different roles that you're both good at, it can put you in a different part of the brain that then can signal, I don't know, something to your partner that doesn't maybe feel great, or it can set up a new dynamic where attraction starts to change. The vibe starts to be different because, well, you're both in your heads a lot. You've kind of lost your heart, the heart of the relationship, and you're just trying to, again, figure it out. And I just want to invite you to not get stuck in these masculine, feminine concepts. And I like to think about it as left brain, right brain. You need both in running a business. And it's important to, I don't know, just again, if we prioritize my partnership first, I send signals that I care about you and you matter to me and you're doing the same to me. We're more likely to take breaks in the evening and not talk about work. We're more likely to have sex because we feel like we care about each other. It's just a natural consequence of putting in the effort to prioritize the relationship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I started thinking a lot about the masculine, feminine stuff that I hear people talk about while you were talking. I was like, oh yeah, I guess we could do a whole podcast on like our take on that. But to me, it's sort of like trying to fit a twin sheet on like a king size bed. I'm like, it's just the masculine, feminine frame is just to me way too limited to understand human relationship dynamics. That's honestly, it's where I struggle with it. It's so gendered. It's so loaded in our society. There's so much shame and elevation to each side. It's just like you're trying to put a twin sheet on a king bed. I'm like, it will never fit for the complexity and what's going on between two human beings, regardless of those things. So I know it can help orient some people, but I find it very quickly being way too limited.
Yeah, confining.
And way too confined, and sort of like leading people off track of seeing all this other material that they could shift in a moment. You know, because we have nervous systems, because we can breathe, because we have eyes that can look at each other in a particular way. Like if we get too caught up in this mental idea of masculine, feminine, I just find it being a major barrier to all the other things that could very readily be worked with between people to kind of rebalance and have a sense of connectedness that feels good to both of them and allowing each of them to be their truest selves. Yeah. So I'm glad you brought that up. And that sometimes these couples can get pigeonholed in roles and even sides of themselves that are just a fragment of themselves. And that creates tension because no one wants to get stuck somewhere. Like, I don't think that we want to just inhabit one facet of ourselves.
Yeah, this is where it gets really limited. So we'll double click on this in a future episode. Yeah,
if that's interesting to people.
Yeah. Okay, so bottom line, again, with the Copreneur is you are going to have to set boundaries for sure. Like, let's not talk about work. Let's actually go on I'm going to go to my men's group. I'm going to go play pickleball with my male friends. I'm going to get away from the screen. She's going to go do her thing. There's obviously separation that could help because that can be a problem. I just want to speak to that one more time, that sometimes space from each other, working in separate places. Yeah. One of you works at home. One of you goes to the co-working spot or the cafe. You want to start experimenting with what is going to loosen the dynamic stuckness here of the dynamic. Yeah.
If anything, you're trying to just get less habituated to each other. Yeah. In that, you know, because that's where all couples are fighting against that. It's like why it was so cool that your mom asked your dad about his childhood 60 years into their marriage, asked him a new question maybe. Yeah. Because we're fighting against just getting habituated. And so space and distance, doing different things at times can support that. Oh, where were you? What just happened for you in the last few hours? Like some curiosity and interest, or coming back into the system with maybe in a different state, or different new information about yourself, or, hey, I thought about something because I was just with my own thoughts for a while versus our thoughts. So it really just it can support that sense of, oh, we're curious again. I'm interested in you again because you've been somewhere, you've done something, and I don't know what that was. So
yeah,
it just even supports that.
Yeah. So again, things you can do. We know you're creative, but we'll just plant a couple seeds. We've already said a number of things, but you can have your bedroom be a no screen, no work zone, and you can put a sign on your door. You can get creative with, this is a sanctuary here. We stop talking about it in this bedroom. Or in bed. We don't bring our phones to bed, and it's a good move. We keep them downstairs, far away.
Far away.
Because if you're out of town, I'm in our bed with my phone for a little bit. Oh, yeah, it's like a little
substitute for love.
Totally. So set the damn thing down. Anyway, do things like that, date nights, all the creative things you smart people can do.
Yeah, and couples can help each other with this. That's what's cool about couples. It's you don't have to fight this yourself. You can be oh yeah, remember we agreed this? Oh, thank you. It's together we're stronger, together we're more efficient. And try and just experiment. Don't get down on yourselves if something's not working. Maybe you do want to go to bed with your phones, but you do something else. I don't know. Right. I would recommend not the phone, but it's try some things that work that support you with where you want to go as a couple, how you want to feel in yourself and with your partner. What would enhance our connection? Because businesses are coming and going. All these things we're working on are coming and going, but we are here.
Yeah, and don't fall victim or prey to, here's something couples do. Well, honey, I've been with you all day. We've been working hard. Can we just have a glass of wine and watch our show? And you do that 5 nights a week or many nights a week. Remember that, and you both kind of collude in, let's keep avoiding us and prioritizing us, and let's be together, which is good, but let's not kind of go there. Remember, that's can be a sign of stuckness. Yeah. And complacency and fear. And so at least once a week, if you're this person, this couple, you might challenge yourself to it's Wednesday night, we're having the full on couples drop in, and we're going to do things highly, highly intentional to prioritize each other, look at each other, and be together and talk about our relationship. How are we? Yeah. Where are we at? And it might turn into a fight, but that's going to, if you know how to repair and you learn how to repair, that's going to get you to a more connected, stronger place over time.
There might be stuff in there that's in the way.
Yeah. I just say that because I hear a lot of couples being I don't want more work. This is hard. I don't want to. Right. I just want kind of to relax tonight. Can we just be mellow and not get into it? And years go by. Decades.
Yeah. I know.
Be mindful of that slippery slope for yourselves.
Yeah. Okay. Is that
okay? Yep. Thanks, folks. Again, subscribe. Share this with a friend.
Thanks for being here.